Another one. I think we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live Charlotte short-term renter insiders. Super excited. If you're watching on Facebook, give us some love in the comments, hashtag live below, or if you're watching the replay, appreciate it. Thanks for taking your time out of your day. Hashtag replay in the comments. If you're on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, all the above. Riley, welcome.
What's going on? Doing all right?
Doing great, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some like 70 degrees sunny weather here in Charlotte, so I feel a little bit like Tampa, Florida. Man, I'm ready to go.
Ooh, let's go. All right, we got a treat for you guys. Today we are going to be reviewing some Airbnb properties in Charlotte. So we're super excited. A lot of this is going to be tailored to tips and tricks to help you optimize your listing. Obviously, disclaimer, we are not experts. We do not build the Airbnb algorithm. We don't know everything, but we feel like we have a pretty good grasp on what people like, what people don't like, how to optimize your listing to the full capacity.
Yeah, and obviously, if these are your listing, just take this as constructive criticism. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. There's no right or wrong answer here, but we've seen some trends and we know some strategies that we're going to talk to you guys about that you can maybe implement in your listings.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So Airbnb.com, everyone should know what it is if you're in the short-term renter. If you are not listing on Airbnb, let us know. We can help you out. But this is just kind of the landing page. So one thing I want to point out here, this main photo and your headline are the most important things you need to be optimizing. If that is not optimized and that does not look good, it does not catch people's attention, there's really no point in us talking about the rest of the listing. You know, photo 2 through whatever don't even matter. So first goal, get a clean professional photo right here. This one, for example, we're actually going to go through in detail a couple of them, but the main points is get a great photo, have a catchy kind of tagline, that headline right there. Riley, anything to kind of add on a couple of these?
When we say professional photo, we're not talking breaking the bank. I mean, I think Airbnb even has or had a service where they can take the photos out of your first payout. And I mean, we're talking, depending on the size of the place, obviously, but anywhere from 100 to 200 to 300 bucks for photos. And you can get good quality photos. And trust me, it makes a difference immediately. That return is immediate. So if you're thinking about taking your iPhone 7 photos, I know I have an iPhone 7, that's not going to cut it. That doesn't work. Get somebody who has a nice camera and a wide angle lens, spend a little bit of money, and it's going to come back to you.
Yeah. Everybody has a cousin or something that is doing photography on the side. So yeah, a couple of things to point out right here. Photo, main photo, I'm going to refer to as the money shot, and then the headline as well. So that is very, very vital to just get those optimized immediately. It doesn't take very long. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll into a couple that we found. So once you find a place, you click into it. This is the screen that comes up. A couple kind of tips and tricks here. This main photo it's very dark, as you can see, very dark. It doesn't, it's not very inviting. It doesn't really scream like, hey, you know, this place is amazing. I think personally, like this one right here is a lot more inviting. It's cool. It gives a little feel of Charlotte, a little more inviting from there.
Your first 5 photos, you want to showcase your most important amenities. That's the key here. And you have 5 photo options before someone really may start to lose interest. So that's when you want to make sure that you highlight your main points. Now, is everyone's main point going to be the same? No, absolutely not. So I don't have a huge problem with this first photo in terms of the subject, but back the photo up. If you're going to either show the living room and the living space, if that's a driver for people in your area, show it. Get the lights turned on, make it bright and cheery. But if it's the balcony and the outdoor space, get over there, show the view, and really highlight that. The main key here is to know what your important amenities are and highlight them quickly in the photos to make sure that you get that communicated over to the guests.
Yeah. And even these new iPhones with the wide angle lenses, I mean, those look very professional if done right. So, you know, just on this one, taking a couple steps back, using the wide angle. If you don't have it, a lot of the bigger cameras, the better cameras will have it. So a couple other, go ahead.
On the title of the listing here, accepting daily / long-term 2-bed, 2-bath whole condo. What I'm going to say here, and there are a couple different thought processes here, is try and stay away from information that's in the listing. And again, the theme here is hit on your most important amenities, hit on what makes you unique. And having 2 beds, 2 baths, or being a whole condo, information that's readily available on the listing is not going to make you stand out from the crowd. That's information that's right there below the photos that people know where it is and they're going to see it. Mention again something that's important about your place.
Yeah. And whenever you're searching for a place, let's just say you search Charlotte, you got the dates, you can pick the amount of guests as well. So it should automatically filter out that info. It's, if you're looking for 2 guests, chances are it's not going to show you a 5-bedroom home.
Yep, that's right. All right, you want to go on some of these photos?
Yeah. So let's, this is just one of the first ones. Let me actually go through. So here, same thing. Try to keep it landscape. Landscape is the wide angle. So not taking your photos like this, taking it like this gives you a little more depth in the listing. And especially optimizing on mobile. Majority of people, 70 to 80% roughly, are going to be looking at these on mobile. So making sure having the landscape photos are very key.
But there's some good things here. I mean, we have some furnishings. We have flowers in the photos. Staging the photos is great. Obviously, you want to be careful that what your guests are checking into is what they're seeing in the photos, but staging with some flowers or fake flowers, which last forever, by the way, putting some of those in your listing during the photos and during the reservations, little touches like that really bring a picture together.
Yep. This is a little better. Make sure one kind of thing here, we'll get into it, making sure you have all the blinds open. Bringing light into the space is really key. So these are half open. You can see some more over here to the right that are closed. I think this would be a lot more powerful if everything was open.
You got beautiful landscaping outside. Open it up. You're boxing in the room. It's less bright. Come on, that's a quick one. That's a quick, easy one that's going to really improve the quality. Again, here.
Same thing here.
Yeah. Yeah, one more thing before we go on. So I don't know if you guys saw it because it's not highlighted in those last 2 photos, but there's a desk in that room. That is a huge amenity there. That's something in this time right now that deserves its own photo to show people who don't read all the way through the listing. Some people just don't read. They like to see it visually. Show them the desk. Show them that you have a workspace for people who are remote, for kids who need to log into class, for any type of travel work. Show them that you have that amenity.
Yep. Same thing here. It's kind of a standard nowadays with Airbnb. People expect coffee cups, mugs, coffee, spoons, forks. They expect that. So I think this might be a little overkill with having this shown, especially in photo 6.
Yeah, be careful with taking photos with the cabinets open. The concept is to communicate some of the amenities that you have, but coffee specifically, if you mention that, it's pretty self-explanatory, the things that you're going to have in there. And some of these photos, no judgment passed, are going to make your kitchen look a little bit cluttery and filled with things, when in actuality, you close those doors, it's probably a nice surface of cabinet and a nice organized kitchen. So you're making yourself look a little cluttered.
Yeah. And once again, this isn't to, downgrade this listing. It's essentially to educate. Same thing here. So that's a little better with the desk, at least showing that. You got the floor plan here, and then it kind of rolls into the amenities of the property,
which are good. I like having some of that stuff. Nice place to hang out. So another point is the description of the photos. That is a huge marketing opportunity. That's somewhere that you can, nice place to hang out. That's not bad, but you can say, you can really drive home the value here. Separate outdoor space for friends to enjoy cocktails in the evening. We talk about the story brand, which is a marketing theme where you're the guide to the person who's traveling. In our situation, you're trying to guide them to having a good time and showing them how to use your place. Well, do that with the listing description. Paint a story about how they can use the space shown in the photo.
Yeah, and a real powerful marketing word is imagine. Imagine sitting out here drinking a cocktail with your best friends. That's a very powerful one. Moving right along. I think this was actually listed earlier. Same thing, some amenities. These are really cool amenities. This is nice. Yeah, it's a pretty good picture.
Trim out the repeats. It just seems like, redundant, obviously.
Yep. Once again, having the photo descriptions, I mean, this photo right here, I don't know if that's the first bed, second bed. Just using every piece of real estate in your listing to educate and show people what they're getting, purchasing.
And make it cohesive. You're telling a story, and that's the important. The beginning is setting the story, showing your most important amenities, but then you're really going through the place, touring someone. So we saw a few photos of the place. Then we went outside to the roof, down on the bottom on the street. And when we got back to the bathroom, as Caleb said, we don't know where we are. Is this amenity for the public? Is this in the suite itself? You got to tell a story, and it has to be cohesive as you're touring someone through the place.
Yeah, and that bathroom photo was should be right close to the other bathroom photo. Actually, it might be. But yeah, just like Riley said, just making it a cohesive kind of story as people are going through here.
Yeah, and when you're staging, pick up anything. You really want to set beds and pillows and soaps and anything like that. Pick it all up, and you can hide a lot of that stuff. Anything that's unsightly during photos that's functional for guests that you want to be there, small stuff, you can hide that. It's not going to deter from the guest experience at all. And then, I don't know what this is. Have you heard of it before?
No, I'm assuming this is some type of cleaner.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's got wipes in a concentrate. Okay. So a
Spray
good
bottle.
message. It's a good message. There are multiple ways to do this, and we'll show you a little bit later one way another group has done it. But to let people know that you have these enhanced cleaning protocols that include disinfecting and providing some cleaning solutions to the guests as well. So it's a good message here.
Yep, it actually does say it. UGuard Botanicals, disinfectant, organic, natural, safe for pets and kids. So, yep, good message there. Yep, and we're rounding off this listing, the photos at least. We've touched on this one before. Anything to add to that, Riley?
No, I don't think so. That's a good run through of the photos, the description, some of the important things. Other than that, I think that's a good story for this place here.
Yep. Description, this right here, another prime real estate. Obviously not everybody looks at the descriptions and reads every word, but it's just another opportunity to educate and show people what they're getting. I like this location, shows you a time of where it's at. Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty good.
It's a spacious space, which is it's good to know. It's a spacious space. So one thing here, your description or your title and description here, you have a lot of leeway here into what you can do. So most people don't get all the way through it in my experience, but it's a place for you to it's a disclaimer for some of your house rules, your policies, what amenities you offer, just to be as clear as you possibly can with the guest. So that's one side of it. The other side is your marketing. You're putting that person back as the hero of your story and guiding them through what their experience can look like in your place. So you have a marketing aspect, and you have the important disclosure information there as well. So I would say an important takeaway here is you have a lot to pack in there. Keep it concise. It's a lot to include. I know it sounds like, both sides of the story here, but you need to include a lot, but keep it concise. Not a lot of, nonsense, fluff, stuff like that. Just hit your important points, but hit all of them.
Yep. So moving right along, I'm sure mostly everybody's has seen a listing. Got your reviews down here, which are very important. Got the location. Yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. This is another kind of marketing opportunity to get to know the host, contact the host directly. Response rate is a big one. Definitely want to be at 100% within as soon as possible.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and check out another example.
Yep. So secondly, this one right here is, I honestly want to get directly into this photo. This is what I call a showstopper. You're scrolling, you're on the first page, you're looking for a place. This photo is very good. I don't think it's optimized for mobile. You can maybe bring it in a little bit, as you can see here, some of the words are cut off, but it paints a good picture of Charlotte. The location, I'm assuming this is taken from the place. I'm not exactly sure, but it says prime location, so you got to believe it, right? It just paints a good picture of Charlotte. It's a pretty cool photo. It's unique.
Yeah, We use some of this graphic overlay as well to put very, very important information, really almost your prime information of this time right now, right on your listing photo. So things that as the guest, a potential guest is scrolling through the list of listings, they're going to get it there. Really, when, like you said, Caleb, all you get is the main photo and the title. So that's a way that you can start showing some of these really important amenities, which right now, Wi-Fi, cable, pets is even a really important one. Cleaning, I've seen. So that's a really important feature that we do as well.
Yep. Yep. So photo number 2 is an amenity. I would probably start more with the actual property inside versus going straight to amenities. I think photo 2 through 6, 7, 8, 2 through 9 are amenities, and then boom, finally to photo 10, you get what the actual property looks like. So definitely some opportunity there.
Yeah, and it's again a difference of opinions. There's no right or wrong, but it's important again to showcase what the most important amenities are. And if this, property owner or manager has it under the impression that those are the most important features to show, by all means, that's what you should do.
Yep. Yep. And this is, beautiful place, very well decorated. They got the descriptions in here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, pretty solid listing.
Very bright photos, bright photos, which is something that immediately stands out.
Coffee, that's important to me. Gotta have. Yep, open windows, very bright.
Mm-hmm.
Tells a story. It's very cohesive as you kind of go through.
We're getting multiple sides of each room as well, if you haven't noticed. You don't have to do all 4 corners, but getting multiple corners of the room and then picking which are the important angles to showcase a nice size bed, a nice television, or a nice piece of wall art. It's really important when you're taking the photos, you're having the photos taken, take way more than you need. You don't have to have 41 photos. I think at some point you lose people showing a little bit too much. You want to showcase everything that you have, but you don't want to, dilute that by including too much. So I think 41 may be a little bit high, but again, it's important that you do showcase what you have.
Yep. And then obviously the amenities as well, where you're at. So yeah, I think that's anything to add on this one.
Did we look at the description here?
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, so this is a good description. It has a good amount of information. There's some information there, but notice I wanted to talk about really essentially doing kind of like a bullet point format, which is okay. Notice they've even done some, screamy caps, all caps in there as well, just to highlight some important things. And it just draws the eye. So some good tactics here to get through important information.
Yep. Okay, cool. So on to property number 3. As you can tell, this is actually a property that we manage. We wanted to kind of showcase the different options. And this is what we have seen to work the best. Boom, optimized for mobile as well, like we touched on earlier, branded as well with My Tripify. Paints a good picture of what the property looks like. People know immediately it's a single family home. You got a couple stories if you have kids, pets, things like that. And then immediately, you got a home office, high-speed internet, medical disinfectant, and stocked. And then we're addressing the whole COVID thing right off the bat.
That's right. And like Caleb said, our group, our target potential guests are families. It's a 4-bed, 2.5 bath place, as you can see on the listing. So that's different from some of the condos that we've seen, which is why we're including a photo of the exterior of the house. Lets them know that they have their own space and that it's going to be enough space for multiple people.
Yep. Yeah, a couple other things to touch on. Photos are the big one. Very, very open kitchen. Each house, each property has its own character. It's up to you, the host or the manager, to really bring that out. So this is a big one right here. Very open kitchen. Same thing. Imagine having cocktails in this, open space.
Yep. So think about the photos that we've seen so far. We had the exterior of the house, we had the kitchen, we had a living area with tons of seating for a large number of people, and we had a game room. So you pander to your crowd. That's the things that the amenities that our potential guests hold as very important.
Yep. Having something unique in there. Right here, you got a little crayon or a chalk wall. That's been used quite a few times.
Yeah,
But
I love it. That's a good one. I'm glad that came up. That's a really good one. People absolutely love that. I see adults, kids drawing, writing notes, mapping their days out, doing work on there. It's really cool to see the creativity that comes from people.
and that was not very expensive to make it unique.
Couple bucks, yeah.
Yeah. So same thing here, just kind of telling a story as you go through the places, using the descriptions down here to give a good insight of what this place looks like. Yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. Once again, this is to kind of educate you on things to look out for. Airbnb is constantly changing this and tweaking this as you go along. So it's constantly hitting a moving target, if you will. But this is what we do full time. So big outdoor patio, big yard for kids, pets, so on and so forth. Pets are a big thing. Riley, you want to kind of touch on that? That's a big opportunity that we've seen a lot of people kind of miss out on.
Absolutely. And obviously every owner and every property has to be mindful of what their tolerance is. And once you make that decision, you need to determine if you're able to accommodate pets. It's a large group of potential guests have pets. And there are a lot of different strategies for mitigating the risk of pet damage, including the insurance, non-refundable pet fee, are some of the ways. Now I know the Airbnb and VRBO, they do not reimburse damage due to pets on their insurance policies. Okay, so again, you need to have your own insurance policy, which is another way that you could recoup damages as well. So there's a bunch of different ways to recoup, and people will pay a good amount of money to travel with their pets. I mean, think about the cost of boarding a pet or even having someone go to your home to manage a pet. People love their pets. I mean, I love my puppy and it's been 2 weeks. So I would pay a considerable amount of money to make sure that she's with me or safe or comfortable, and people will as well. So, you kind of put it up to your travelers to do the right thing. And you realize that if you've communicated the right way with them, the right information, they'll do the right thing.
Yep. I want to touch on the description here. It's very, very in depth. Very, very in depth. Any question you would need, it's going to be in here. So another goal is a lot of for host is communication with the guest. Like that's a big part of the time spent managing your place. If you're a host now, you understand that. So just kind of getting out ahead, where it's like, hey, does this place have X, Y, and Z? Then you can be like, oh, yes, absolutely. It's listed in the description, and then kind of point them to the listing itself. So it takes back and forth off of you, less management, just to kind of get all the info out there as well. So definitely important to have more info than not. Obviously, not everybody's going to look at it, but some people actually will.
Yeah, but it's a good amount of information there. So again, back to that balance I spoke of before. I mean, there's a lot that you need to communicate for this kind of arrangement, but you try and keep it as concise as possible. I mean, not having huge blocks of text helps, separating it out into subject matters. They even have some headers in there for you as well to kind of section off the data, but there's a lot of good value that you can communicate here, and you need to take advantage of it.
Yep. All right, cool. I think that is probably about it. I'm going to stop sharing. Anything else to add, Riley?
No, I mean, I hope that if you're watching this, you learned something about your listing or the ability to set up a new listing. If we reviewed your listing here today, know that obviously no offense was meant here. We're doing this just strictly educational. Everyone has things that can be improved upon, and we're not saying we're the only source in short-term rentals. So there are different strategies, different methodologies. So we're not trying to step on anybody's toes, but just give you guys some insight as to some of the decisions and strategies that we're using to manage our listings.
Yep. Hopefully this is helpful, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, leave a comment below. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like the channel. And then, once again, Riley, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you.